Hello, friends, and welcome back to Speaking Friendly. I'm Luna, and I'm really happy you're here with me today. If you're listening right now, maybe you're walking, resting, working, or just taking a quiet moment for yourself, and I want you to know that this space is for you. Today's topic is something very close to the hearts of many learners: how to study English when you are alone. Maybe you don't have a teacher. Maybe you don't have a partner to practice with. Maybe you feel like you're learning English by yourself in a quiet room, and sometimes it feels lonely or confusing. But let me tell you something important right away. Studying alone does not mean learning alone, and learning alone does not mean learning badly. In fact, many successful English learners became fluent by studying on their own. You can do it too. Let's start with a simple truth. Learning English alone gives you freedom. You can choose your time, your pace, your style, your goals. There's no pressure to compare yourself with others. There's no classroom stress. It's just you, your curiosity, and your future. And that's a powerful combination. But of course, learning alone also brings challenges. You might feel unmotivated some days. You might feel confused about what to study. You might wonder, am I doing this right? And that's normal. Every learner feels this at some point. The key is not to avoid these feelings. It's to learn how to move forward with them. So today, I want to walk with you through this journey. I want to show you how to study English alone in a way that feels clear, calm, effective, and even enjoyable. First, let's talk about mindset, because before we talk about methods, apps, or books, we need to talk about how you think. If you believe that learning English alone is impossible, then every small difficulty will feel huge. But if you believe that learning English alone is possible, even if it's slow, then every small success will feel powerful. So instead of saying, "I'm bad at English," try saying, "I'm learning English." Instead of saying, "I don't understand," try saying, "I'm improving." Instead of saying, "I'm alone," try saying, "I'm independent." Language learning is not a race. It's a journey. And when you walk alone, you don't walk faster, you walk deeper. Now, let's talk about how to create your own English learning environment, even when you're alone. Think of English not as a subject, but as a part of your life. That means bringing English into your daily routine in small, natural ways. For example, instead of saying, "I will study English for 1 hour," say, "I will live with English today." You can listen to English while cooking. You can read English before sleeping. You can speak English to yourself while walking. You can write English in your notes or journal. English becomes something you live with, not something you visit. One of the most powerful things you can do when studying alone is to talk to yourself out loud. Yes, I said out loud. Many learners think, if I don't have a partner, I can't practice speaking. But that's not true. You can become your own speaking partner. You can describe your day. Today, I woke up late. I felt tired, but I made coffee. Then I worked. In the evening, I relaxed. You can talk about your plans.
Tomorrow, I want to finish my work early. I want to go for a walk. I want to practice English. You can talk about your feelings. I feel stressed today, but I'm trying to stay calm. I know this feeling will pass. When you speak like this, you are training your brain to think in English. You are building fluency, and you are building confidence even when no one is listening. Another powerful tool when studying alone is listening. Listening is like feeding your brain with English. Listen to simple English, not fast English, not complicated English, simple, clear, natural English. You don't need to understand every word. If you understand the main idea, that's enough. Your brain learns through repetition and exposure. Listen again and again. The first time, you may understand 50%. The second time, 60%. The third time, 70%. And slowly, without stress, your understanding grows. You can listen while walking, while resting, while doing chores. English becomes part of your life rhythm. Now let's talk about reading, because reading helps you see English structure. When you read, don't try to understand every word. Try to understand the meaning of the sentence. Try to notice how sentences are formed. Try to feel the rhythm of English. Start with short texts, simple stories, simple articles, simple dialogues. Read out loud sometimes. This helps your pronunciation and your speaking confidence. You can also keep a small notebook where you write sentences you like, not just words, sentences, because language lives in sentences, not in isolated words. Now let's talk about writing, one of the most underestimated skills. Writing helps you organize your thoughts. It helps you see your mistakes. It helps you express yourself clearly. You don't need to write essays. You can write small things. You can write about your day. You can write about your thoughts. You can write messages to yourself. You can write what you want to say to someone. For example, today was difficult, but I learned something new. I'm proud of myself. Writing like this is not about perfection, it's about expression. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest challenges of studying alone, motivation. Some days you feel excited. Some days you feel tired. Some days you feel like giving up. And that's human. The key is not to wait for motivation, it's to build habits. Instead of saying, I will study when I feel motivated, say, I will study for 10 minutes every day. 10 minutes is better than 0. 10 minutes becomes 20. 20 becomes 30. And suddenly, English becomes a habit, not a struggle. Create a small routine, maybe every morning, maybe every evening, but choose a time and protect it. And reward yourself. After studying, do something you enjoy. A cup of tea, a walk, a favorite song. Your brain learns to associate English with pleasure, not pressure. Now let's talk about something very important, fear of mistakes. When you study alone, you might think, if I make mistakes, no one will correct me. But that's okay. Mistakes are part of learning. In fact, mistakes are proof that you are using English, not avoiding it. Instead of trying to be perfect, try to be brave. If you say, I go to store yesterday, and later you learn, I went to the store yesterday, that means your brain is improving. That's growth. You don't need to be perfect to be fluent. You need to be consistent and courageous. Now let's talk about planning, because studying alone without a plan can feel confusing. You don't need a complicated plan. You need a simple one. For example, your daily plan could be listen for 10 minutes, speak for 5 minutes, Read for 10 minutes. Write for 5 minutes. That's 30 minutes. That's enough. Your weekly plan could be review what you learned, repeat old content, try something new. Your monthly plan could be check your progress, celebrate your improvement, adjust your goals. Learning English is not about doing more, it's about doing better. Now, let's talk about using technology when you're alone. There are many resources, but don't try to use everything. Choose a few and stay with them. Use one podcast, one video channel, one reading source, one notebook. Consistency with few resources is better than confusion with many. You can also record your voice. This is very powerful. Record yourself speaking today, then record yourself again in 1 month. When you listen, you will hear improvement, even if you didn't feel it. That's one of the most motivating things you can do. Now, let's talk about confidence, because confidence is not something you wait for, it's something you build. Confidence grows when you understand a little more than before. You speak a little more than before. You express yourself a little better than before. Every small success builds confidence. And remember, confidence does not mean I am perfect. It means I am trying and I'm proud of myself. Now, let's talk about a beautiful truth. When you study English alone, you also learn about yourself. You learn how patient you are. You learn how disciplined you are. You learn how you react to challenges. You learn how you encourage yourself. Learning English becomes a journey of self-growth, not just language growth. You become stronger. You become more confident. You become more independent. You become more aware of your own potential. And this is something no classroom can give you. Now, I want to speak directly to you, the listener. If you feel slow, you're not slow. If you feel stuck, you're not stuck. If you feel tired, you're not weak. You are learning, and learning takes time. Fluency is not built in days. It's built in moments. One sentence, one word, one conversation, one podcast, one day at a time. And if today all you do is listen to this episode, that is enough. Now, before we end, let me give you a simple daily practice you can start today. Every day, say 5 sentences in English about your day. Write 3 sentences in English about your thoughts. Listen to 10 minutes of English. Read 5 sentences in English. That's it. Simple, gentle, effective. And one more thing. Be kind to yourself. Speak to yourself like you would speak to a friend who is learning something new, with patience, with encouragement, with love. Because you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. So take a deep breath and let it go. You are capable. You are learning. You are growing. And you are not alone, even when you study alone. Thank you for spending this time with me. This is Luna from Speaking Friendly. Keep learning, keep believing, and I'll see you in the next episode.